Alright, hey everybody. Hey. So I decided that I was gonna start doing freezer dinners because I work 2 jobs now. I'm gonna go to school and I wanna be able to just have pre-meals already. So I'm gonna make homemade freezer dinners. See, what happened was is I don't like processed freezer meals. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start making my own dinners so that they're already pre-made for the month. So I've been watching a lot of the girls on YouTube, a lot of the mothers and women who have already done this before. So my first freezer dinner is going to be meatballs. So I'm gonna bag up a whole bunch of meatballs. Yesterday I went to the store and I collected a lot of the materials that I need to be able to make the meal. So like the plastic freezer bags. I've been doing a lot of research on it. So basically you get like freezer bags and then you put your stuff in there. I'm actually doing a big grocery store run on Tuesday, but right now I have a whole bunch of ground turkey and sausage, so I'm gonna make a whole bunch of pre-frozen meatballs with no sauce on it. So if we want to do like sweet and sour meatballs, like a gravy meatball, maybe a Hawaiian teriyaki meatball, a regular spaghetti meatball, they'll all be made up already. So I asked Deshaun to pull out the meat. Of course, you know, knowing my husband, he only pulled out one thing of ground turkey, but you know, for me, you know, I already know he's like that. So I'm not like fretting. I'm just like, okay, I just took the rest of the meat out and I'm unthawing it real fast in the microwave so that I can mix it all up and make the mix. So I'm gonna record my process of my first pre-freezer meals, you know, so that we can have fresh meals, because what's gonna happen is I'm working weekends, but I work 12-hour shifts as security, and so due to that I won't always be home. So like the other night I made tacos in the crock pot, and then I left Deshaun with like 2 cans of tuna because he'll eat the tuna, which he made I think he said he made like 2 or 3 tuna sandwiches. So I'm gonna show you how I make my meatballs, and I'm gonna do the freezer, put them in the freezer so they can freeze. So I'm gonna clean up my refrigerator so that on Tuesday I can start prepping a whole bunch of my meals. I've already made a list of pre-frozen dinners that I'm going to do. So all we have to really do is either put them in the crock pot or just put them in the oven to warm them up already. So I'm gonna do like chicken alfredos, burritos, enchiladas, shepherd's pie, pot pies, you know, little, I found some ideas like chicken stuffies, stromboli, stuff like that, things that Deshaun will be able to heat up when I'm not there, and also I can heat up, you know, stuffed shells for myself and him. Like I'm gonna do dinners for 2 or dinners for 1, you know, if I'm home, or maybe, you know, if he wants to eat, you know, pasta that night and I want to eat a stromboli, you know, we can have different dinners. So I'm so excited for this new journey, and I'm gonna do this once a month. So I'll have dinner meals once a month I'll prep once a month for the whole month. So today is just gonna be my trial day on seeing how this goes on making a whole bunch of meatballs. So wish me luck, you guys. And this is so exciting because I want to make more time for us. Like tomorrow I'm gonna see if we can go to the movies and see one of the new movies that just came out. So here we go. So yesterday I was in Milford and I got some freezer bags from the dollar store. So I heard that you double bag them. So I got some freezer bags, and then I also got a bunch of these from the dollar store. This like come in 3. So I'm gonna do a couple of these, and I'm gonna do a couple of bags of them. So we'll see how it goes. I'm starting the process. I'm cutting up 3 onions, and then I have some garlic I'm gonna cut up, and then I'll show you my seasonings and prep. And I don't use breadcrumbs for my meatballs. I use old-fashioned oats. So these are just the Market Basket store brand. And then instead of using regular ground beef, I'm using turkey, and then I'm gonna add sausage because the sausage is a denser meat, and so they're gonna hold better. And I usually, even if I use hamburger meat, I usually add sausage to my meatballs. That's usually what makes my meatballs my meatballs. The reason why I use oatmeal is my grandma uses oatmeal, and you know, they still come out moist as well. So I'll show you as I go along. All right, guys? Okay, so I got all my ingredients together. I cut them all up. So I have about 3 onions here. I have the rest of my oatmeal. I have garlic here, basil, a little bit of onion powder, pepper, and salt. And then in here I have all my ground turkey and my sausage, and I'm gonna mix it all together. And then we're gonna start forming meatballs. Oh yeah, and we can't forget, like, if you guys don't know, my favorite food is eggs. So we can't forget we're gonna be adding eggs as well to the meatball mix. All right, guys? All right, so I have a big pot of meat. What I did was, these are all my sausages. I took the sausage out the casing. And then, you know, I have turkey patties. I have a whole bunch of ground turkey that needed to be used up. So like, everybody's been giving me ground turkey. So I have so much ground turkey. So I have sausage. I took all the sausage out the casing, so I'm gonna mix it all up, and then I'm gonna mix everything else that's in there into here. All right, so I kind of mixed it up a little bit more because it was so frozen, it was freezing my fingers. But now it's nice and mixed, and so I'm gonna start throwing in some onions and some oatmeal and some seasonings. Yummy, yummy. All right, so now I have all my ingredients mixed in. It smells great, so I'm gonna start forming my meatballs. All right, you guys, so I finished up 4 freezer pans, and they are of my meatballs. So each one has 8 meatballs each, so me and Deshaun get like at least 4 meatballs, so make 1 meal. You know, they're pretty decent sized meatballs. Have like rice with it, depending on which one, or have noodles with some garlic bread. So yeah, so I'm gonna freeze these, and then I have the rest of this meat, and that's gonna be our lunch, and it's gonna be my lunch and dinner tomorrow because I have to work. So I'm gonna make that, and so I put a lot of onions in there, so I that I have, and it's not gonna go to waste. I'm gonna cut up my green pepper, and then I'm gonna make my sauce. So, you know, have a rich hearty sauce with my meatballs, and I'll be done. So that is my first batch of freezer meals, and I'm gonna cover them with tin foil, and then after covering them with tin foil, then I'm gonna put these little bad boys on there. Yeah, so I'm gonna cover them with tin foil, then put these bad boys on there, and then cover them, and then they should be good and frozen. I'm gonna mark what they are on top, saying that they're meatballs, and write the date on them as well. Right, you guys? There we go. There's our first batch of meatballs, and they're in the freezer.